in Knoxville. I've lived here all my life. And in 1929, and I have a brother and a sister. When I was 5, we lived in North Knoxville. Mother took a cold, and she couldn't seem to get over it, and she had meningitis and died in 35. So that made me 5 and Billy 8 and me Margaret 10. Back then they didn't have nurseries or anywhere to take us. So my aunt in Murfreesboro took me, one of my other sisters, and then an aunt took Billy, and Daddy's brother took me and Margaret. When I went to Murfreesboro, I saw a bunch of kids out in the yard, and they were planting out in the school grounds, planting vegetables. And I thought, wonder what grade that is. So I told Nancy, I said, "Hey Nancy, I'm going into the 3rd grade." And she said, "Okay." So when we went to the office, Nancy said, "She's in the 3rd grade." And they put me in the 3rd grade. So I skipped the 2nd and went on to the 3rd, and I got to work in the garden out there, and when the food came in, we cooked it and got to eat it. And so that was a lot of fun. I used to like a boy down the street. He was our newspaper. He'd carry the newspaper. And then Billy and me and Margaret would kid me, "Here comes Catherine's boyfriend." And so I'd run in the house. And they would do that every day or two. Daddy was sick. He had asthma. And so we called the doctor, and they took him to the hospital, and he died about 9 o'clock that night. My first movie was Gone with the Wind, and I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I was scared to death. I never did like that movie. I met Ed at church, and Nancy and I went to Smithwood, and I joined Smithwood, and then back then it was called BYPU at night, and so we had decided to have a hayride, and so we planned it and had a truck and had straw in it, and didn't know Ed. We went by to pick him up on the hayride, and he sat down beside me, and we just started talking, and that's how I met him. And then from the next day on, I went with him about every night. He was kind and would, "What do you want to do?" or "Where do you want to go?" or "What do you want to eat?" And he was just a very kind, gentle guy. We got married in February of 53. After we were married, 9 or 10 months after we were married, we had Douglas, and he was blonde, blue-eyed, and then in 4 years we had Susan. She was also a blonde and blue-eyed, and then in 4 years we had Ginger, and she had dark hair, and she was a little different, and but we were proud of all of them. I have 6 grandchildren, 4 girls and 2 boys, and I'm proud of all of them. Especially, it seems like I'm more attached to the twins, because that was just something that I've always wanted, was twins, and that was a blessing, and they're great kids. And John is a good boy, and Doug has 2 children, Katie and Andrew, and they live in California, and I don't see them much. I spend more time with Shaylee and Shayna and Savannah, because they live close to me, or the same town, and they are Doug's second marriage, and it's precious kids. It seems like my kids are not affectionate as they should be, and I don't know whose fault that is. Mine probably, because there wasn't anybody for me to love on. Mother had gone, and then Daddy went, and I would probably would like for them to be more sociable to each other. When I get by myself, I have an organ, and I love to sit down and play it and pick out. I play by ear. I don't play by note, and that brings me out of my depression, and I enjoy doing that. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm leaving this to all of you, and this is my legacy to you.